morning. In today's program, we've got Neelam, who is a photographer from Barcelona but based in Glasgow. She takes photos of bands, and the lighting and color of her pictures are unique. She has recently been on tour with big bands of Glasgow and Spanish bands as well. And I'm so glad and happy she's here today. So welcome, Neelam. How are you?
Hiya.
Good?
I'm good, yeah.
So there's Neelam here. And the first question I would like to answer is how your love for the photography started.
Well, I've been taking pictures since I was really young. Since I was maybe 10 or 11. Is the first time that I was hey, this is fun. And my mom was whoa, you're really good at this. And then I just got a little camera, and then I just started taking pictures. And then when I was 13 and 14, I started listening to the music that I kind of love now. And when I was 15, tried to sneak my camera into shows, and that's when my love for music photography started, and documenting my friends on nights out, and kind of what I still do now. So
that's brave. You started too early to do all of that as well. And did you study something before?
When I was young, when I was 13, 14, I did a course on just photography, just to learn how to use a DSLR camera, and learn the basics of photography and stuff. And then that was kind of it. And then when I was 17, I went to uni and I studied photojournalism.
Yeah.
So I was there for 3 years, and then dropped out, but I kind of was there for a bit.
So she's from Barcelona as well, like me, and I was wondering what made you move to Glasgow?
Well, I first moved to London when I was 17, because growing up, I'd always loved London and British music and everything.
Did you
British.
move by yourself?
Yeah. I moved by myself for university, and I chose London because I loved it as a big city and the music and everything. And then after living in London for 3 years, I kind of knew some people here in Glasgow, and then I just decided to come and give it a try, because London can be so draining and expensive and just really exhausting sometimes. So I thought I'd come here and give Glasgow a chance, and I even loved it more than I could imagine. So I've stayed here.
That's so good. Do you think working as a photographer, being a woman, is hard nowadays?
I wouldn't say it's hard. I think it's hard being a woman. It's harder being a woman than a man in any sense, in any part of any job you want to do. But so in photography, it is as well as in any other field. But I wouldn't say it's specifically difficult. But nowadays, it's getting much better.
Yeah, that's good. And how did the doors open to the music sector for you? How did you start it?
I think I kind of just made it happen by just being really persistent and always just being there and working a lot, working really hard. I would go to gigs and sneak my camera in, even if I didn't have a photo pass, just to get pictures, to kind of build a portfolio. And then once I had a bit of a portfolio, I would, message bands and be I really like your sound, smaller bands, and be I really like your sound, I would love to take pictures of you. And obviously at first, not, just working a lot for free, and just shooting a lot of shows and building up a portfolio. And then slowly people start to like your style, and sorry, and they start to hire you, and then it just kind of builds up slowly.
Yeah, and that's interesting because you started in such a young age as well. And what do you like the most and the least about your job?
I think the most fun part is getting to travel a lot and meeting so many amazing people all around the world. That's definitely my favorite part. And then you go on tour with another band some other time, and you go to the same places, and then everyone meets, and it's just it's all a big global friendship group, which is really fun. And I'd say the least is like the struggles of being a freelancer in general. Like, you know, waiting 6 months to get an invoice paid, or like, you know, like all the kind of bullshit that like self-employed people or like freelancers have to deal with on a daily basis. I think that's definitely worse, but I think a lot of people in any kind of creative field can relate to that, apart from photography.
Yeah. Where's the farthest place you have traveled to working as a photographer?
I mean, I toured the US last year.
Oh, whereabouts?
I went everywhere, so I reckon the furthest was probably like LA or like Seattle, or like somewhere in the West Coast.
That's so good. That's so good. And finally, I would like you to explain the best memory you have about your job. Like,
well, this job has definitely taken me to some funny moments, some really like random situations. Like, I would say that the most random and like crazy thing that's ever happened to me was I ended up at Selena Gomez's house in LA last year.
No way. How did that happen?
So basically, like, I was on tour with this band called Heinz from Spain.
Yeah.
And their support band, there was this band called Goodbye Honolulu. They're from Toronto. And they're friends with like Selena Gomez because like they went to school with like Petra Collins, who like is one of like, she takes a lot of pictures and did like music videos for Selena Gomez and stuff. So like, long story short, there was like mutual friends involved, and then she came to the show, and then she invited us back to her house, and we were all like eating burgers and swimming in the pool, like such a like California thing. It was really crazy. Like, I was like, what is actually going on? And she was so nice and down to earth as well. That I was like,
about to ask. Nice, is she?
She's so lovely. Like, you wouldn't think, like, she's so nice.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you right now, man.
But it was so random. Like, when we all found out that she was coming to the show, we were like, what? Like, we knew you were pals, but this is like insane.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the craziest thing that I've ever lived.
Oh my
thanks to
god.
my job.
Oh my god. And what do you think about the whole sector? Like, is there competitivity, or like people struggle to get into the sector?
And within music photography?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of competition. No, it's not a bad thing, like, a lot of the times. I feel like nowadays...
So there's no bad vibes?
I mean, sometimes there is, depends on the person, but like, generally everyone's really lovely. Sometimes you come across like a really stupid photographer that will try and copy your pictures and like then just be and, you know, there's always been like confrontation moments, but I feel like overall there's a really good community in like the music photography in the UK and like in the whole world. I feel like social media has like been really good to connect everyone to like a kind of same level. Like, I have so many photographer friends in like America or like Japan, and like I personally don't even know them like in person, like a lot of them, but you know, you really admire their work and they admire your work, and you get inspiration from everyone. And you know, like, they might shoot the same bands that you shoot, but then in the other side of the world, and that's really cool because then, you know, everyone's in touch and it's really fun.
Oh, that's good, man. So I'm such a fan of you, man. Like, you've been brave, and I don't know, you are like my inspiration to keep being brave and doing what I want to do. And just thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And nice. Guys, this is the end of the interview. I hope you like it, and just say bye bye to Neelam. Bye.
Bye bye.